It's not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Tangled up tubes. I just the other day got internet was sent by my staff at 10 o'clock in the morning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chuck Palm. I am the big giant geek in the big red chair, and welcome to the Internet Chronicles, live from Ybor City in the heart of Tampa, Florida. That's right, historic Ybor City. We want to make sure we put that in there because it's so important to stress the historic part of this fine, lovely little burg in the middle of the city of Tampa. It's kind of a cool little arts and fartsy district with all the hearts of the cigar industry and Tampa's great heritage. So if you needed a little education about Ybor, there I am. Day after my birthday, and I'm really excited because tonight's my birthday party. We always go out and play on Thursday nights, so it's going to be a fun day. Lots and lots of things happening on the news. We've got some exciting stories and some fun things to talk about. We got some kind of disturbing stuff that's in the news today, too. But other than that, I am very, very pleased to be here with my silent engineer behind the golden silver-plated microphone back there.
Trace Huevos.
Trace Huevos.
Trace Huevos, the silent engineer.
Honestly, really? I mean, seriously. Is that the best we can do?
Well, you could set up this camera shot a little better.
I could set up the camera shot. You know, that's why I pay interns.
Look at that.
Right, here's that. See, I even said something about send me in the photo so I'm not right under the damned the screen here. By the way, you're supposed to be using. I give you that cue when I say, hey, you know, JoJo the engineer behind the scenes, Mr. Three Balls himself over there.
Trace Huevos. Not balls, eggs.
Oh, excuse me.
Eggs.
Yeah, I know what they are. Right. All right. So, jumping right into things. Thursday morning here in the lovely city at ipnstudios.com, and we have news about Apple computers. I got an email last night from one of my colleagues who said, boy, did you call this one. Steve Jobs has resigned as the CEO of Apple Computer. He will remain as the chair. I believe we have some photos on the link for that, if my guy has seen that. Are we, everything okay back there, guys?
I don't know.
Do we have some issue?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, what's going on over there, Theo?
Man, I'm not getting a picture on my laptop.
Is that? I'm checking out the stream. It's looking good.
Is it good?
There he is. There's his
right.
little Tedeschi hat.
My Tedeschi. I want to smack it.
Tedeschi.
Boy has no concept of what a good pork pie fedora is, you know. Honestly,
especially one from Berlin.
It is a Stetson at that. It's not from Berlin. Good Lord.
It looks like a little black German hat.
Honestly, you know what? You're fired. Get out right now. Cultural things matter on my show. I'm sitting here waiting to get off the show to enjoy a nice, fine cigar, hand-rolled in the Dominican Republic by some of the fine members of the Fuente family, and you're over there saying I look like a German, or at least a Berliner.
Yes, ich bin ein Berliner.
We're all Berliners now.
That's right, we're all Berliners. And you know what that means? If you go to a bakery and order a Berliner, you get a jelly-filled donut. I swear to God, that's what a Berliner is. Ich bin ein Donut. So those of you with German background, or that remember Kennedy's speech at the Berlin Wall, that's I bet there's not many in our audience that go that far back.
Well, I don't go that far back, but I know the saying.
Oh, well, very nice. Yeah, but see, you've been to Europe, too. I mean, you have a little bit of advantage. You're kind of well-traveled as a...
Do you know what Tedeschi is?
Yes, I know what Tedeschi is.
What is Tedeschi?
She's married to Derek Trucks.
She's married, yeah, right. Isn't that Susan Tedeschi?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's right.
It's
all right, do we have the
Italian.
photo of,
it's an Italian word that means German.
German, right. Do you have the photos of Steve Jobs? I made a point of showing the link
hold
there.
on. Let me pull those up.
I really wanted to show the people what was the deal with Steve and why we really feel that our hearts go out to the man. To be completely fair and honest, I may not be an Apple fan. I may not be a big Steve Jobs fan because of what he did to the company, and then abandoning the company right when they needed him the most. But you know what? The last time he did that, I don't think it was for health reasons.
Is this the first article?
Yeah, the first link there. It shows, right, Jobs steps down, can no longer serve. I'm going to read a little bit of this here. He's talking about, I don't have that. Sorry, I didn't have that one up either. The photos are on the right-hand side there. You can bring them up on my screen to my right if you don't mind. Silicon Valley legend Steve Jobs, who has been on medical leave for an undisclosed condition since January 17, resigned as chief executive officer of Apple on Wednesday, saying he could no longer meet the duties and expectations of the job. A guy with an ego that big, that was a bold statement. I gotta tell you right now, he's come back from pancreatic cancer, he's come back from a liver replacement. This guy, I'm waiting for him to come back from the dead as a zombie. He is totally the comeback kid, and each time he has forced Apple a little bit farther beyond their comfort zone to provide an amazing product. And I got to tell you right now, that's basically where I'm at with the whole Steve Jobs thing. Whereas I don't respect his methods or his secrecy or the Apple methodology of test it while they're breaking it. I honestly believe that this was the man who made Apple a great company, and it continues to push them to be great. I'm not so sure his replacement will do the same. What
do we know about that new guy?
Well,
Tim
we know
Cook.
quite a bit about him because he's pretty much been running things all along while Steve's been, recuperating. But this last time, I don't think he's going to come back from this. I mean, the point of showing the photos is, look at how he looked back there in the 80s. Mr. Chubby Face kind of looked like me there almost, without a beard. Then he gets more and more gaunt, and the age starts to catch up with him. But I mean, at his worst, he really looks like he's got something eating it away as his body there. And like I said, our hearts go out to the man. I'll be honest with you. Disease is a terrible thing to have to overcome when you are a mogul that is constantly in the media scrutiny. And I'll give him a break for a couple of days here. So how's that?
A couple of days?
A couple of days, that's all you get.
He revolutionized the way we interact with
revolutionize my
computers.
ass. Come on. You know what? Seriously, I could give a shit about his revolutionizing anything. If it wasn't for Microsoft loaning them about $4 billion in the late 90s, there wouldn't be an Apple. So
And
I don't want to hear it.
look what he's done with that $4 billion.
Yeah, right. He built the only thing that ever killed Microsoft, and that was the iPod. I mean, Microsoft did more to try to combat the iPod while they were out there inventing the iPad. I mean, they skipped 3 generations of phones and remote devices and all that other stuff, while the Zune has pretty much taken a nosedive. It is nowhere near competing against the iPod.
The what?
The Zune, Microsoft Zune media player, high def video, audio.
What is that?
Yeah, shut up. Got a bunch of fanboys around me, Jesus. All right, show links on the photos. We've already shown that, but I want you to bring up the Facebook gets 1 trillion views in June. There's also a... I'm sorry, not that one. Not that one. We don't have to show that. If you want to show any of the logos on the header pages or whatnot, that's fine, but the 1 trillion views thing, that's pretty impressive. I've been touting Google Plus for the last couple of weeks and how well they're doing. But if you look at the breakdown here, this is pretty amazing. Just about every week, a new set of statistics comes out with Facebook topping most of the popularity chart, and it says arch rival Google's own data says tallying 870 million unique visitors and 1 trillion page views in June. A trillion! Sounds like the national debt, It's like, can we put that number into perspective? Do you know how much $1 trillion is? If you took a dollar bill
It's
and
all
you
the
laid it
money
on
I
a
need.
football field, right? And you went from 100 yards of a football field laying out dollar bills end to end, the stack of dollar bills would be 10 feet tall, covering an entire football field. So you think about it, that's that's a billion. The trillion is 1,000 times. Yeah, thank you. That's $1 billion. I forgot. So, take that into perspective when you're thinking about how much that's.
He's bad at math, folks.
Yeah. No, I'm bad at analogies. There's a difference.
And math.
Actually, I'm bad at basic math. I'm good with storytelling. I'll stick to that. How's that? I have great timing. Yes, thank you. You know what the key to comedy is, right? Timing. Yeah, shut up. All right, so most visited sites, Facebook.com, 46.9%. YouTube.com, not bad at 42.6%. But if you look at the page views, that's really where it gets amazing. They said presumably Facebook will be able to translate big numbers into bigger advertising rates, blah, blah, blah. Where was it? Oh, and it only had 1/10 as many page views as Facebook had. So when you're thinking about visitors at 46.9, that means that they spent 10 times longer on Facebook than they did watching YouTube videos. 10 times longer, man.
You watching YouTube on Facebook?
Most of them do. I mean, I think that's really what's killing YouTube's view rates. You go to a lot of the YouTube videos now, and they say embedding is removed at the user's request because they don't want people sitting there, spinning their wheels on Facebook doing other things while their video's playing. So, all right, moving right along here. It's going to be a quick show today. I better slow things down a little bit. I'm kidding. We got a lot of things to cover, so.
You should make it short for your birthday.
I'm thinking we'll probably bag out a few minutes early just because we got another show to do this afternoon. We got to prepare for.
By a few minutes, do you mean like we're only going to be like another 10 minutes on the show?
Look, we almost got. I don't know where to go with this guy. I don't know. You just hold him. I'll slap him. How's that? All right. U.S. government settles with Google for $500 million. I want to point this out. Go to the page real quick. New York Times has talked about this. It's really kind of funny. You didn't have to go full screen. I mean, people don't want to see the Google logo full screen, honestly.
But you're always touting them. I figured, just.
Well, I'm just saying they own the internet right now. They're just leasing it to everybody else. If you look at this, Google settles with the U.S. government for $500 million. The regulators will announce $500 million settlement to Google over charges related to advertisement for illegal online pharmacies. Ooh. And then they said the Department of Justice investigation into Google's advertising practices, which decreased Google's profits by 22%. Now, okay, first of all, I want to address that. That's complete, I'm going to say it, bullshit. Absolute and utter bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on this one.
What
Google's
kind of shit?
Profits did not go down 22%, and if they did, it had absolutely nothing to do with a government lawsuit. Think of how many other governments that are suing Google right now, or have at least an injunction on products that Google's trying to release, or this is complete ludicrousy. If you look at 22% profit drop, Google's stock would have tanked. That's almost a quarter of their profit for a year. And I got to tell you something about this $500 million fine. They're going to take it in trade. No, what they're going to do is they're going to shut the lights off for 3 minutes at the Googleplex, and that'll cover the difference in the bill. Because, I mean, seriously, have you seen that place? It's freaking huge, man. Or everybody's going to skip one lunch. Hey, we have to fast this Thursday because we got to pay the government like $500 million. Don't tell anybody. That's only like 3 minutes, 3 minutes that Google doesn't have to work to make $500 million. I mean, come on. This isn't even spit in the bucket to them,
It's like when Neil Bush was like 50,000.
Yeah, ooh, 50,000, right. I mean, in all sincerity, think about, what did Google just pay for that company? They bought Motorola. Wasn't it like $40 billion? And they said that wasn't even 1 year's annual profits. Not even 1 year at $40 billion. I mean, that's not net, folks. That's gross.
So what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that we should be fearful of the government and Google?
Well, the only one in this world who knows more about you than the government is Google.
Okay.
So, how much do you fear your government, and how much do you feel you need to fear somebody who knows more about you than the government? In all honesty,
do you fear your Google?
I figure if I'm still walking tomorrow, I got a pretty good chance that I'm going to walk the day after. Walk out of here with both legs intact. I'll be all right. Google is Google's the beast, man. It's the new number of the beast. The Googleplex right across the back of the head there. You shave a little hair and you find the number of the beast. It's a barcode. It's actually a QR code. You scan it with your phone, Takes you to numberofbeast.com. All right, so, you look at this stupid thing. Oh, the Department of Justice press release. Yeah, this is always good when you get somebody from the government writing a press release. According to Deputy Attorney James M. Cole, Peter F. Noroa, and U.S. Attorney for District Rhode Island, and Kathleen Martin Weiss, Acting Director of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration Office of Criminal Investigation, FDA/OICI, and the forfeiture, the forfeiture of one of the largest ever in the United States represents the gross revenues received by Google as a result of Canadian pharmacies advertising through Google's AdWord program, plus gross revenues made by Canadian pharmacies on their sales to U.S. consumers. What'd I say? That was gross, right? Remember when I said that was gross? That's 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. Whoop, can't sell that ad word. We're going to have to make that money back right now. Yeah. That's so retarded. U.S. Attorney Noriega said that the settlement was about taking a significant step forward in limiting the ability of rogue online pharmacies from reaching U.S. consumers by compelling Google to change its behavior, and the kind of forfeiture will only get Google's attention, but the attention of those who contribute to America's pill problem. Am I hearing this right? They're saying that this is about America's pill problem? Because you can buy the online pills from Canadian pharmacies? Again, complete horseshit. I'm sorry, this does not make a bit of sense. The Google issue is about the government trying to look like they're kicking Google in the pants. They don't care about Canadian pharmacies. There's a Canadian pharmacy outlet in Tampa. You can walk in the store and buy Canadian drugs, which, by the way, are the same as the American drugs. It's just that the pharmaceutical companies are dumb enough not to charge the Canadians as much as they charge us because they have a different system over there. And we have to weigh in all of the research and development costs so that we can get bigger, better, badder drugs that will keep us stoned longer. I'm sorry. This is about America's pill problem. So they're saying that they're suing Google because of the war on drugs, and specifically prescription drugs. If you're going to doctor shop, are you really going to do it on the internet?
That's the war on drugs?
Yeah,
what?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got to be kidding me. This is what the Department of Justice press release just said, that this is supposedly about America's pill problem. The last 3 words of the article. I mean,
oh, geez.
Federal government, the biggest drug dealer on earth.
Thank you. Yeah, the ones who control all the drugs, right? Let's go and make sure we get all of our drugs from the U.S. government, not from some Canadian pharmacy.
They don't control all the drugs.
I really don't care. I don't care if they ship drugs from Canada over, the post office, as long as they pay the normal American postage.
Oh, you're talking about pharmacy drugs. So that I don't have to supplement
the post office anymore. Because, we're not paying for our postage with that's another campaign that's just got me pissed off. Have you heard the new thing about the post office? They're spending money on advertising to tell people that the post office is totally paid for by your postage. It's not subsidized by any tax Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm sorry. Come on.
Mailing a letter in the United States is cheaper than anywhere else in the world, practically.
Right. You know why?
Yeah,
because it's subsidized by everything else, by the federal tax
by the
system.
federal government.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Don't tell me that. I mean, post office has run in the red for the last 25 years now. It is totally ridiculous. I mean, and I understand the internet took a big chunk out of sending letters and stuff back and forth. I understand that advertisers are moving their dollars into the internet for shows like this one, and you can find us at ipnstudios.com. So make sure you're sending your advertising dollars to support your local shows. But, you know, the post office will never, ever again be profitable unless, like, the top 4 delivery services just fall off the planet. Speaking of which, has FedEx gotten slower, or is it me? Have you noticed the rates have gone up and it takes longer to get stuff from UPS and FedEx?
No.
They're trying to save gas.
By driving slower? That never worked.
Yes.
Or they're just trying to put more crap in one box. That's the problem.
That too.
Yeah, okay, I'm giving them McDonald's plug here. At this point, I don't care anymore. No, I ordered something online the other day, and of course, free shipping is USPS, right? Your free shipping is it'll take you 7 weeks on normal postage at USPS, right? To come from St. Petersburg across the bay here. But if you order at FedEx from California, usually 2 or 3 days, right? Well, they got the FedEx Ground now, so they can have a cheaper FedEx service to compete against UPS. FedEx Ground was like 7 or 8 days. It's like, are you kidding me? UPS Ground is like 3 or 4, but no, I checked that. It's also gone to like 6 or 7 days. I don't know why the hell the trucks are getting slower. There's not that many of them on the road anymore. And they are combining more packages to save on gas, you know? No, are you kidding me?
So what you're saying is that they're having to wait to put the boxes on the trucks?
No, they do it as fast as they can, dude. It's about making the money. If that package isn't here in 2
That's what I was trying to get
days,
at.
yeah, they're not. I mean, they may put more crap in one box, in one truck, you know, or one container coming from overseas, or one whatever. But it's not that the trucks aren't moving any slower. I got a buddy who works at that FedEx depot here in Tampa, and he says, by the airport, that's just amazing. That thing is a machine. It runs all night long, every night. All right, so enough about the Department of Justice and Google. I mean, you know what? They're so in bed with each other. It's not even funny. That is such a stupid statement to say that, you know, it's about the war on drugs. All right, Jojo, skip down to where it says the video for social media risky behavior.
I just pulled it up.
All right, very good.
That was that little noise. Let me do the screen capture.
That means
here.
ding, screen capture. Good. Keep your video focused on that one, and if you want to bring it up, we're going to go full screen when you play that. It's only about 1.5 minutes long. I'll let the video speak for itself, but I've queued it up so we don't have to watch their damn commercial. I'm not paying for somebody else's spot. You can pay for your own. That's right. info@ipnetcast.com. Got it? Yeah, there you go. Go ahead and play that.
I think,
oh, yeah, thank you. You went ahead and reloaded it anyway.
Oh, I see. Okay, another
FiOS,
another
a network
tab.
ad. Yeah.
One seemingly innocent click, and the
You
war.
may want to turn that up a little.
A majority of teens, 70%, say they venture onto social networking sites every day, and what they see isn't always innocent.
More than half of them see pictures of kids
Too ugly to be on
drunk,
web
passed
video.
out,
Blur her face
and
out.
using drugs.
Repeatedly viewing those images, experts say, takes the shock value out of what really should be shocking to kids.
You look to your peer group as a way to figure out what's normal, what's abnormal, and the more that you see these images, it just becomes more so what's normal in other kids your age.
This may be the reason behind one finding of a new study from the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University. It shows kids who visit social networking sites like Facebook or Twitter every day are more likely to smoke, drink alcohol, and use drugs than kids whose friendships are exclusively offline. Child psychiatrists who weren't involved with the study aren't surprised.
It's a study that makes a lot of sense. It is clinically what I see in my office all the time.
Study authors also found viewing sexually suggestive TV shows increased those drug and alcohol risks, along with
Kids whose parents do not agree completely on what to tell their children about drug use.
experts say moms and dads, not the websites, must take the lead in policing teens' online habits.
Look at all
Much
those
like
exposed
parents
names.
want to get to know friends
Yeah, right.
at school, for
Smart.
kids who have hundreds of online friends,
And
experts
they're all
say
under
parents
18.
shouldn't waste time meeting them. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
Leave it to MSNBC to screw up their own Privacy Act. So let me recap that and see if I got it right. You were able to hear that, right?
Stop.
Thousands of kids are rushed to the hospital.
Stop. Oh, that bastard.
I told you I wasn't going to get a walk out of here on my own 2 feet today. That's the the thing about that video, see if I got this right. You were able to hear it, right, JoJo?
Yeah, I was able to hear it in my headphones.
All right, so the deal.
But I mean, it sounded like she had an attenuation, or she didn't kick her audio levels up.
Right. No, she wasn't real excited to tell the story. Apparently, social media leads to kids watching more violence, sex, and drugs, and
doesn't
bad habits
more
like
violence
smoking,
and sex and drugs. Doesn't people just want to watch that anyway?
I was just gonna say, isn't this normal primetime television? They're talking about social media leads to drinking and smoking.
See the difference between the TV and the social media. You can see your friends doing it.
Yeah, I can't see you though. Are you back there at all? I haven't. I don't know if you've been on not on the camera today or what. But
no, I'm
okay. All right. So
besides the camera that's looking at me looks. I mean, my image looks horrible. I mean,
that's just the way you look, dude. We can't do anything about that.
No, it's.
All right, listen. I gotta tell you,
that's my birthday gift. I'm gonna choke you.
You're gonna choke me, right? Trust me, you've already choked me a couple times today. All right, I've got I just got a couple of comments about that. Teenagers who are conversing, spending time online, or doing video chats with other teenagers, it might lead to sex. But first,
oh no,
it might lead to drinking, which, by the way, leads to sex, which eventually leads to smoking anyway. So what are you getting at? These are teenagers, man. There's no different. See, this is the thing about
Chuck.
Studies. You can make a study, look and sound, and do anything you want. It's like, what was the old saying? Numbers are like prostitutes. Once you get them down on the sheets, you can do anything you want with them.
Ooh.
So,
Hey, Chuck, where do babies come from?
Where do babies come from?
A six-pack and 2 horny teenagers.
Two horny teenagers. Yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. You're telling me that teenagers spending time with porn online is not going to lead to a little boinking around, some a pretty heavy drinking.
Good, let's try that.
And a cigarette after sex. This is wake up, people. This is called rock and roll,
Wasn't it sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
That's what I'm saying. This is the lifestyle of a teenager. They listen to their music, they get online, they surf a little bit, they get with their buddies, they do their little thing, they chat it up with some women. If they're lucky, they might, see a little skin action here and there, and then it eventually leads to drinking and smoking. Don't tell me that it's social media that causes all this. That is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. You can shut off your camera now, by the way. Thank you.
Why?
Wanted to see your bald head.
Why? I like looking at myself on the screen.
It just gives me something easier to throw crap at. All right. You have that other video down there for the commercial spot?
I don't know. Okay, yeah.
Right after break. How about that?
The Hub commercial.
Let's give our friend Scooter a shout out there at the Hub down in Franklin Street in downtown Tampa. We have a saying at most other bars in the city: "Are you pouring a Hub-worthy drink? If you're not, you need to go to Scooter and learn what a Hub-worthy drink is." That's a shot and a half to every shot that you're supposed to have for the most part. That man pours a stiff drink, let me tell you. Now, Hub has been a great, fine, friendly hangout in the Bay Area for a long, long time, and even a better place now that Scooter's in charge. And we'll give him a little shout out here in his video and see what he has to say about the Hub.
Hi, my name is Farrell, as I'm referred to as Scooter, and I own the Hub now for 3.5 years, and I've been working here for 24 years. The Hub is an icon of Tampa Bay. We've been here for 61 years, serving the strongest drinks you can find anywhere in the world. Our clientele consists of forgotten man to judges, lawyers, and everybody in the walk of life. We have a package store, we have games, we have strong drinks, and we have live entertainment a couple nights a week. We're in downtown Tampa. We're right next to the historic Tampa Theater. We're not too far from Ybor City, or the Channelside District, or Hyde Park. People show up here after hockey games, arena football, concerts at the St. Peter's Forums, and even the amphitheater, to go to place afterwards and before. We have people that come into the hub that tells us that grandparents came in the hub, the old hub, which was 1 block away. And we have pictures out in the bar that shows them in here. It's a multi-generation bar. For 61 years, you can imagine how many people come to those doors. Another good thing about the hub is we have a package store, the only package store downtown Tampa. We are both a friendly neighborhood bar, a late-night bar, and a bar where you can actually meet new people. Come down and join us. We're open 7 days a week to 3 a.m. I know you'll have a good time.
So there you go, our buddy Hooter. I said that the last show. Good God.
The Hooters.
Yeah, I must have Hooters on the brain today or something.
You sure you don't want to go to Hooters instead of Good Time Charlie's?
Well, no. Trust me. The wings are far better at Charlie's than they ever will be at Hooters.
Yeah, but the breasts
I love Hooters, but, I'm just here to tell you, I still love Hooters. I love Hooters. Yeah, we're doing a little speed test here on the network. If you're having issues with latency, send us a little chat. Let us know. It's not our fault. I swear to God, it's the
Ustream
provider
and the
I can't
ISP
see that one.
provider.
I don't think that one was for me. Is it? Oh yeah, it is. What's the name of that?
That's another Greek.
Oh yeah. Yes, it is.
What?
It's our
Constantine Bassaniotis.
It's our friend Gust.
Gus.
What?
It's one of our.
You got that monitor turned away from me. I can't see it.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Oh, you bastard!
So I wanted to be able to see this screen specifically so that I could get the chat on there, but I think I got it up over here. Yeah, I didn't want to interfere with our bandwidth, and it actually looks pretty good. See, this one is really latent, but the upload speeds they should be fine. So that tells me that we have an intermittent issue with the provider, and.
But it'll save it to Ustream.
Well, I don't want to say anything bad about our service from our internet provider, Bright House. It's Dim House, the dimwits at Dim House. Yeah, now see this one's way off. This one is like 6 times slower than it should be. So we're all over the board again, folks. If you're having trouble seeing the show, I'm very, very sorry. Moving right along, let's look at the rest of this. There's a lot going on today, and I don't want to miss out. Don't want to miss anything in the next 20 minutes or so before we wrap the show.
We're going to spend 20 minutes talking about Spock?
Is that the last one?
This is the last one.
It is not.
Yes. There's nothing after it. Take a look.
Well, that's the Quake.
Oh.
You got to bring up the photo, and I'll tell you about how it applies. You can put that one in the window, too, if you want.
Let me adjust the screen area.
So, yeah, Huffington Post article. Normally, I wouldn't be caught dead on the Huffington Post, just saying. And there's nothing against their slant. I mean, everybody has their slant. I have no qualms against that. It's just there's no reporting there either. We talked about this the other day. The media has totally fallen down on their job. And you know what? At least I tell you, I'm giving you commentary. I'm providing my own 2 cents with this. And you're free to watch another show. I mean, we love you anyway. We'll take your money if you want to advertise or put up a show. But Spock is not impressed.
That's earthquake damage.
That's right. It says something about it's far, far worse than Haiti. We've discovered the earthquake damage here, and Spock is not impressed with your East Coast earthquake damage. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's another link below that, I believe, and you got to look at this one. Oh no, it's right above it. It's the one that talks about Twitter and the must-see stats. We're gonna go into that. You want to capture that that window too, because it's
what Twitter and the must-see. Oh, okay.
There's a slideshow, a Twitter slideshow. You see it?
No.
It's at the bottom of the article. It says 1 through 6.
Oh, okay. Let me readjust the screen.
Go ahead and readjust while I read a little bit about this and tell people that the 5.8 magnitude earthquake. By the way, that's no longer the Richter scale. The way they're describing it now is that seismologists have much more sensitive equipment, and that whenever you have a full point in magnitude difference between like a 5 and a 6, it is exponential. So it's not just 1 point greater. it's 10 times greater. So each point now is exponentially greater. That's why they're doing the fractions. They can get into like 5.8 to 5.2 or whatever. You're not going to see an 8.0 on this scale unless California is falling off into the ocean. You know, you can all wish, but seriously, the thing about the Richter scale is that it's just so outdated. The 5.8 is kind of like almost a 7 on the Richter scale from what they were saying. So this was a considerable quake in the Washington, D.C. area, and I think you all should take note of that. There's a black hole opening up under Congress getting ready to swallow all of D.C., and the earth is shaking right beneath your feet. So,
is that the...
Sorry.
Is that where they kept all the money that they've now spent?
What money they spent? They didn't spend any of the money they kept. They didn't have anything to keep to begin with. All they did was put up some numbers in a bank account somewhere.
Okay.
It's not like they took dollars out of the account, out of somebody's piggy bank, and put them into a bank somewhere else. They don't play them like that. They just, it's here. Let's move these numbers into this column, and we'll take those numbers from here, and we'll put them over there, and we'll say that $700 billion is going to go to resuscitate the economy. Yeah, right.
I'm looking at a new acronym here. Look at this.
Yes. What was that? I saw it. Where was it?
Look at it. TPS.
Is that like TPS charts?
No, TPS.
Is it like
TPS reports.
The TPS reports, right?
So now it's tweets
per second. That's funny. We hit about 5,500 tweets per second. For context, this tweets per second is more than Osama bin Laden's death, and on par with the Japanese quake. You people in the East Coast really freaked when you saw this thing coming out. So go. Oh, you got that captured? All right,
yeah, it's already up there.
Let me read through this real quick. It's talking about 5.8 magnitude that shook D.C. on Tuesday, was felt in cities throughout the East Coast, exploded online, spreading rapidly via social media networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Foursquare. Phrases and hashtags related to the earthquake, such as 5.8 and hashtag earthquake, quickly dominated Twitter's trending topics list. Now, I always thought that was great too. When you could make the trending list, but you had to have an earthquake to do it. That's pretty bad. Mashable notes that tweets began pouring in from D.C. every 30 seconds before we felt the quake at our headquarters in New York City, and any reports about the quake emerged from the media. The HuffPost LA reports that many West Coast users also took to Twitter to tease their East Coast counterparts. Really, all this excitement over a 5.8 earthquake? Come on, East Coast, we have those for breakfast here, Like I said, that's a 7.0. The new 5.8 is a 7.0. It is not the Richter scale anymore. This is not your father's Richter scale. So if
wait, so you're saying that from the first part, you're saying that now that 5.8 is like a 7.0?
On the Richter scale. As what we knew from 10, 20 years ago, yes. So if you're comparing that, you're from California, and you're saying, oh, 5.8, that's nothing,
Yeah. I remember some seven numbers.
Pictures and dishes were falling off of people's walls. They had cabinets that were shook loose. There are monuments in D.C. with major cracks in them right now. They're shutting down buildings, checking out the buildings and the historical places. Well, first of all, we don't build to protect for earthquakes the way they do in California.
Hey, I feel another stimulus package coming on.
Feel a stimulus package. That earthquake was the proceedings of the stimulus package that you felt the tremors coming in for. All right, so move to the next slide. There's a few of these that are kind of cute here. It was saying, well, of course I don't see it. It's not my screen there. Within a minute of today's earthquake, there were more than 40,000 earthquake-related tweets. In a minute. I mean, oh my God, I feel an earthquake in D.C. Click.
Well, how many earthquakes have you experienced, boss?
Get outside, get under a table, get under a door jamb. Don't sit there and tweet. OMG, what is that?
Boss.
What?
How many earthquakes have you been in?
Oh, I've never been in one. I'll be honest with you. I grew up in Chicago.
All right, check this out. I was in my first earthquake when I was living in Italy.
Yeah.
It was like a 5-something on the Richter scale. Probably at 5.8.
Sure.
It was around midnight or so, and it was, I think, on a weekend. And I'm up there in my little apartment on the 3rd floor watching some DVDs that I had bought
Yeah.
because, I couldn't really watch the Italian stuff. I don't speak the language that well.
Right.
And so I would always order DVDs and watch them from Amazon. So I'm watching my DVDs.
Option in the Army.
I'm watching my DVDs. And all of a sudden, everything starts shaking. And
Yeah.
I'm, on the couch in my underwear. And I get up and I'm like, what the hell is that? Because I'd never been in an earthquake before.
Right.
And it was scary. I didn't know what the hell was going on because everything was moving.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen pictures of them live, and the one that scared the hell out of me the most, I think, was the World Series game. Watching that happen, dude, that was.
I'm just glad that my roof didn't fall in because the epicenter of this thing was like 5 miles away, 6 miles away.
Yeah, you were close.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit number 3 here real quick. It says the check-ins. The check-ins also travel faster than seismic waves. Over 10,000 check-ins at earthquake apocalypse already. So on Foursquare, if you were anywhere near the epicenter, Foursquare had a place where you could check in at earthquake apocalypse. I thought, that's a good use of technology. That says, hi, Mom, I'm here in an earthquake and I'm fine, I've just checked in at McDonald's. No, that's Donald's.
It's the Golden Arch.
Yeah, the Golden Arc. Oh, crap. All right, number 4 was talking about following the East Coast quake at approximately 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time. We saw term earthquake appear in Facebook status updates for nearly 3 million U.S. users. Again, I'm at my computer. What is that? Oh, good. I just killed my recorder. Sorry. No, we're looking.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's there.
You could always
Yeah.
pull the audio off of the Ustream, I think.
Oh, did it sound good? Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, it's still recording. No, I'm just saying to myself, that's pretty interesting that you can have 3 million people sitting at their desk on Facebook, not willing to get up and leave the building when there's an earthquake.
Could have been their bomb shelter.
Right? Well, I mean, even people who said they were in a bomb shelter, they found crap falling off the shelves, It's like you're in a bomb shelter in D.C., and there goes your Spock plate, Spock is not impressed, Twink!
He would be if the plate broke.
That's right. That's my plate, damn it. All right, number 5. It's talking about 5 minutes after the quake hit. Twitter's average response time doubled from 2.6 seconds to 4.17, according to the monitoring site. There were so many people tweeting about the damned earthquake that they actually doubled the amount of time it took to tweet. Who cares?
Well, see, all this information is going to be very important to researchers.
I was just going to say, researchers find this stuff interesting. I find it interesting because of what it means when, human nature kicks in. There's obviously some really damn lonely people who are more interested in staying in touch with their Twitter, Facebook, and Foursquare friends than they are their family, It's like, oh, I better post this. This is the most exciting thing to happen to me this week, There's an earthquake and crap's falling down around my head, Yeah, first. I'm like, see that? The status line, at earthquake apocalypse first, Oh, man. Seriously, when you look at Haiti and some of the other horrible incidents that they've had in Japan and the technology and how that has actually saved lives, all joking aside, keep it up, man. We have never had in our lifetimes a moment in time where you could reach everyone on the planet within a second. It's never before happened, and as a communicator, as somebody who's studied it my whole life, been online from the very beginning, did radios and antennas in the Army. I'm going for my ham now. I'm going to make sure I have my shortwave license so we can always stay on the air. I just think it's so important that we realize that these people that are communicating, that are tweeting and they're doing that, they need to keep it up. They're keeping the rest of the world informed. Like, in an emergency when the ham radio guys kick in, if there was a real serious earthquake and buildings were falling, I mean, look at 9/11. Nobody knew what was going on. It took hours before the real response kicked in, and there was a lot of things that could have been a lot more tragic if it wasn't for people outside the norm of communication, because there wasn't a Twitter 10 years ago. There wasn't a Facebook 10 years ago with 9/11. And texting went bananas. The whole city, all the towers locked up when people were trying to reach their family. The cell communications were down. There was no way for emergency services to work. They had to rely on shortwave or microwave transmissions and radios. So Morse code it's still in use. You know what? I still have nightmares about it. I had to learn Morse code in the Army, and I would sleep at night after studying Morse code for 8 hours a day. I'd have dinner and I'd go back and I'd study in my barracks for another 4 hours. I wanted to clip out of the class early. Dude, I'd go to bed and I'm dreaming that I'm in my car and I'm done. I'm driving home. I'm on the highway and all the signs are in Morse code, and I hear them in my head. And then the people on the gas station, their mouths are moving, but code is coming out of their mouths. Oh, I'm telling you, you completely lose your mind when you're that deep into something. And it's like any language. You really have to think in that language to be able to communicate that way. I have relatives in Germany. They'll be here in a couple of weeks, and I'm already thinking about how I communicate with them. It's completely different. I think like a German. That's the only way I can describe it. You have to think in the language, and when you think in code, it's like a whole different thing. It's a mathematical computer thing. Your brain switches gears, and all of a sudden, everybody starts talking in code. Yeah, Braille. I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, how can you sit there and read with your fingers? I'm just thinking about. Never mind.
Boss.
I know where my fingers have been.
Boss.
Tell me.
Why do you keep moving to your right?
You know why? Because I moved the microphone over there. I need to not do that because it's a bad habit. I always lean into the mic. I know you don't need the mic that close.
I've had to move the camera now like 3 times.
Well, I'm more comfortable. I've always leaned to the right, So anyway.
Oh, jeez.
What else do we have?
Well, there is one more picture. Here, we got... Oh no, okay, never mind. It said 5 of 6, and so it was only 5.
An advertisement. It's actually 5. Yeah, just drop that.
What a bunch of crap.
That crap. If you know what, I didn't save that. I need to save the links for you for the other commercials. I forget about the IPN studios. Cheney's got a new book coming out. I mean, it's not very technology related, but I understand he's about to piss off everybody in Washington with it. Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
I do too. I mean, Cheney I could live without. He's kind of a doof, but
a doof?
Please.
He's a smart dude.
Yeah. I have no love lost for that guy. Seriously, that's the best we could do. That's the best that we can offer is Barack Cheney.
Just because he looks a little funny doesn't mean that he's not smart and hasn't contributed a lot to this great nation.
Save it for your show. We'll talk
My show doesn't talk about politics.
Oh, I told you, I have no problem talking about politics as long as it's technology related. And I mean, unless you're talking about what's under Darth Vader's mask that he wears. I am your father. Yeah, my son's name is Luke. I always used to joke with him when he was a kid.
Why did you call him Luke?
I don't know. It was why did I call my daughter Lena? It's the same thing as when I realized I called them together once, Luke and Leia. It was Leia. It was Luke and Lena. And I started laughing to myself, saying, "Oh my God, I am a geek. That's why I named my kids." No, it was the whole thing. I had a big Chewbacca shirt on. This was when I did some stand-up work. What can I tell you? Luke and Leia. I am your father. No, I told him. I said when he was, he's still like 2 or 3 years old, and he's got his hands in the bowl. I said, "Luke, use the fork." So he thought it was very funny. I know. What are you on for a 2-year-old joke? It was a good joke. All right, we got.
Tres Huevos is not impressed.
Tres Huevos, yeah. Do you have that site? Look it up on Google real quick. The Spock is not impressed site.
Hold on.
They've got a cool little thing I want you to throw up here on the screen at the end if you can find it.
I don't see the Google search window.
Show, but you can always bring up the Barney Frank video one more time. That always made me laugh. I don't know why, but that our YouTube video of the day once was Barney Frank talking on MSNBC.
Talking or farting?
And he was giving us his. Well, you know, when we're talking about a stimulus package, and he leans over. He actually leaned over on one side. Oh God, please! I
wonder how he got that deep, weird sounding voice.
Stop it! Don't even. There's a time and a place, and this is neither. Alrighty.
Okay, let me just.
Let's
Spock
see,
is
just one more. While you're looking that up here, I've got. We could talk about.
Here's one. Spock is not impressed.
Diffbot, yeah, the Spock is not impressed stuff. Go to the very end. There's actually a link. It says for those of you for your shopping pleasure on the Spock site.
Okay.
And right click and save that picture. It's actually Spock in a PNG file.
Okay, hold on. Let me scroll down here. What's he doing now?
It's just by himself.
Oh, we gotta see. I gotta show you this one.
I love the Spock is not impressed stuff. That was a great bit. Who was that? It wasn't Will Wheaton. It was one of the other guys. It was one of his buddies. I remember. Oh God.
Spock's seen bigger.
Seriously. All right, now scroll down until you find Spock by himself there as a graphic, and you can right-click and save it as. I meant to do that for you, but.
Hold on, where the hell's he at?
Unit. Oh well, yeah.
Where's he at? Oh geez, hold on. Where's
Uber testing disruptive car service in Chicago? Uber appears to be continuing its national expansion with the soft launch of the disruptive car service in Chicago. Pandora's CTO Tom Conrad just tweeted about using the new service in the Windy City. In case you aren't familiar with Uber, the service allows you to order a black car to come to your location on the mobile app, and you can actually track your car.
It's an endless number of pictures, boss.
Say again?
It's an endless number of pictures. It keeps.
Just search for shopping. Search the page for shopping. It's just Spock by himself. It's no background and oh God.
I don't see a search window.
What a hard way to go for a gag, honestly.
Oh, there he is.
Right-click, save as, put it in the Internet Chronicles folder. We want to use it for another day. There you go. Just save it as.
Okay.
Here, kids, this is what you can do to make your own Spock is not impressed photo. You're killing me. You could take that off the screen, really.
I want to have Spock up there. He's not impressed with your show.
Scandy, yet another pointless smartphone stand. I love that. Kickstarter. Every good project that gets some much-deserved funding, there are innumerable lesser ideas trapped in financial limbo. Today's case in point, the Scandy, a telescoping clamp that promises to turn your smartphone into a scanner. Ooh, that's cool. The idea behind Scandy is that since your smartphone has a fairly decent camera mounted on its rear end, it would make a half-decent scanner if you managed to hold it just right. Rather than leave the onus on the user, the Scandy clamps on the nearest table and allows you to adjust the height and get the entire document in view. This, in short, is completely ridiculous. Alright, you have our Spock up there. Put him in an overlay. Go to one of the video overlays, right-click, and open the file.
No.
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 What do you mean, no?
No.
Good Lord, all that time, and you can't even bring them up on the screen so I can see that Spock's not impressed with our Internet Chronicles episode today.
I already did that. That was old
No,
hat.
you didn't.
Yes,
you
I
put
did.
it on the screen.
Yeah,
you didn't do it as an overlay.
I put it in a little window overlay,
no.
and he was looking down
That's
at
a picture
you,
in a picture.
and he was like, mm-hmm.
Dude, do you really need to know what picture-in-a-picture difference between overlay is? Honestly? See, overlay, the whole point of it is we can do it live, and it would look like it was that Spock was part of our show. Like I said, this was a long way to go for a gag that didn't work, right? It was funny 5 minutes ago when he was screwing it up then, right?
Spock was not impressed.
Yeah, it says, library researchers who don't want to spend 10 cents a copy. Seriously, I wouldn't put this ruining the table's finish. So you got looks like a car antenna that straps to the table so that you can hold a document up and use your phone as a scanner. You put it in a little holder and it scans the document so that you can... yeah. Really? All right. We're going to wrap things up here because I don't think he's been able to find the file that he just downloaded moments ago.
I found it. I don't understand what you're wanting me to do.
Video overlay module. You know the one that says be right back?
Yeah.
Right click on that and click open. Not over here. Not over here. I'm almost embarrassed. No.
You mean that one?
Yeah, that's the overlay. Right click and open that.
Okay.
Now, do you see Spock? You see the file you downloaded?
No.
Find it.
How?
Right click, click open, change the directory. See, this is what happens when you get Apple guys running PCs.
Okay, now how do I find the downloaded file?
Where did you download it to?
I have no...
It's probably my documents download directory if you didn't change it.
My documents, where the hell's that?
Never mind. Bring up the music. Jeez.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Spock.
Hey! Spock! Over here. Spock is not impressed with the Internet Chronicles show that we just did for you today.
Yeah, not today.
All right. No, it was a great show, and I want to thank you all for very much for watching and listening. We're going to try to put this show online here in a little bit, and while our friend Spock is looking over my shoulder, we have another great show planned for you for Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here at IPN Studios and thechronicleshow.com. Thank you very much, Spock. We appreciate you showing up finally. And JoJo, thank you for all your efforts today. We'll be back Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend. I know I'm enjoying my night. If you're local to the area and you can make it to Good Time Charlie's on Waters Avenue at 9:30 p.m. this evening, I look forward to seeing you there. We're going to have a great time. Thanks again, everybody. I hope he's got the music. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your weekend.
It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Tangled up tubes. I just the other day got internet was sent by my staff at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I got it yesterday. Tangled up tubes. Because it got tangled up with all of these things that are going on the internet commercially. I think it's absolutely essential to provide streaming stuff going on the internet.